So everyone wants to build a professional looking personal brand, but most people's content looks like this. But by the end of this video, you're gonna know the simple 3-step process to make your content look like this, so that you can stand out from the sea of average creators and build a unique and memorable brand online. So the first step in this process is lighting. And lighting is so important when it comes to your content, because if you have bad lighting, it won't matter if you use the best cameras on the market, your content is gonna look like trash. But on the other hand, if your lighting is on point, then you could use your smartphone and get better looking content than a $5,000 camera. That said, there are many different ways to light your content, but in this video, I'm breaking down the most classic lighting setup that majority of the top creators use to gain millions of views on their videos, and that is 3-point lighting. And basically, 3-point lighting is when you set up 3 different lights around you. So 1 key light, 1 fill light, and 1 rim light. So let's break these 3 lights down, starting with the key light. So this will be your main light that is exposing you. And depending on where you place this will control the look of your shots. With that being said, the most common angle to place your key light is slightly off to the side at a 45-degree angle. And this is because it creates shadows on the opposite side of the face. And this drop shadow can help add depth to your shots and will also help make your lighting look more cinematic. Also, when setting your key light at this 45-degree angle, we are able to capture the reflection of the light in our eyes. And this reflected light is called a catch light. So now for this shot, I'm using my Aperture 120D Mark II for my key light, and I've also added a softbox to help soften the light so it looks more pleasing on my face. And now if I turn this light off, you can see just how much of this scene is controlled by this one key light. But now, some things to consider when picking up a key light for yourself is trying to get a light that allows you to control the brightness and the color temperature. So the first light I ever bought was the Aperture F7, which was about $100, and I paired it with a cheap umbrella softbox that I bought off Amazon, and with this simple cheap setup, I was able to get shots that look like this. So depending on your budget, there are many different lighting options out there, and I have linked a bunch of recommendations below in different price ranges, so definitely check that out. But now moving on to the next lighting within the 3-point lighting setup, and that is the fill light. So the fill light is typically placed across from your key light, and it's used to fill in some of the shadows that are caused from your key light. With that being said, I know many creators who don't even use a fill light because they want a more dramatic look in their shots. And this is a personal preference, and it really comes down to what you like. So if we take a look at these 2 shots here, we can see the difference in the shadows, and that's all just by using a fill light. And typically the strength of your fill light should be set to around 40% of your key light. But personally, I've been using a cheap 5-in-1 reflector that I got off Amazon whenever I need a fill, and it's definitely been getting the job done. With that being said, for this shot, I'm actually just using my iMac screen that's set on a white page and with the brightness set to about 50%. So again, depending on your budget, there are many options when it comes to fill lights, so just get creative with it. But now moving on to the last light in our 3-point lighting setup, and that is the rim light. So the rim light is also known as the hair light, and the main purpose for this light is to separate you from the background. And we want to usually place this light higher than us, but then angling it down. And if we take a look at these 2 shots here, we can see the difference we get when using a rim light. But now, a bonus tip to keep in mind when using this 3-point lighting setup is to make sure to turn off all the lights in the room that you're shooting in, and be sure to close any curtains and block out any other light sources. And we do this because when working with artificial lighting, we want to be in total control of all the light in our frame. But now that we have our lighting on point, we now need to cover audio. And I get it, audio is not the most sexiest part about creating content, and I know it's a boring and bland topic, but having high quality audio is possibly more important than how your video looks. Because at the end of the day, people will sit and watch a video that has bad video quality but good audio, but they won't sit through a video that has Hollywood picture video quality but terrible audio. So the easiest way to make your videos feel more professional is by improving your audio. And you can do this by picking up a microphone. And basically there are 3 main styles you can use. So you have the shotgun or boom microphone, a lavalier microphone, and a studio microphone. And depending on the style of content you're creating, this will determine which mic is best for you. So personally, for my tutorial style videos like this, I'm using the Shure MV7 studio microphone. And I use studio microphones over other options because personally I like the look of having the mic in my shots, and generally these studio microphones will always have the best sound. With that being said, studio microphones are not the most beginner friendly because you will need some extra pieces of gear like a mic stand and possibly a recorder just to even use it. Also, I'd only recommend grabbing a studio microphone if you're planning to create content in the same place every single time because they're not very portable. That said, if you do think a studio mic is right for you, I recommend grabbing a pop filter, which acts like a shield for your microphone, and this will reduce the plosives that your voice makes when saying pet and bear sounds in your words. Honestly, it's a cheap piece of gear that will make your audio sound a lot more professional. But now, the next microphone that is popular for YouTubers is the shotgun or boom microphone. And this allows you to capture high quality audio while having a clean shot where the mic is not in your frame. That said, these microphones will require some extra gear like mic stands, extra long cords, and possibly a recorder to properly use this setup. So if you're tight on space or money, then this may be something you upgrade to over time. That said, I've left a link to my top recommendations for shotgun or boom microphones in the description below. But now moving on to the third style of microphones and the one I recommend for beginners, and that is the lavalier microphone. And these are the most versatile and popular microphones for content creators because they allow you to move around while still capturing clean audio. So if you're planning to create content outdoors or in many different locations, then this style of mic is going to be best for you. That said, these lav mics are usually the lowest quality out of the 3 mics we've covered, but they are the most budget friendly. Lavalier mics are also great for you if you create content with just your smartphone because there are many options online that connect directly to your phone. That said, the top lavalier mics I recommend is the DJI Wireless Mic 2 or the Rode Wireless Pro. And a more budget-friendly lav mic that I personally own is the Boyolink Wireless, which connects directly into my iPhone. That said, new mics are always coming out, so I've left a link in the description below to an updated list of all the gear I've mentioned, plus some bonus mics for different budgets, so definitely check that out. But now that you know which microphone is the best for your content, how the hell do you even use them? And while each microphone is slightly different, but some key things to remember that apply for all of these mics are the following. So firstly, the best placement for your mics are 6 to 14 inches away from your mouth. So a common mistake I see beginner creators make is putting the mic so close to their mouth when talking, but this will just make your audio sound poppy and muffled. So a quick way I find the placement is by using my hands like this. Now secondly is sound treating your room. So ideally you want to shoot your content somewhere that's not noisy and that's also not echoey. So for example, when you're recording, turn off the aircon, close the window so we don't hear the traffic outside or your neighbor's dog barking. And try to shoot in a room that has furniture or carpeted floors to help remove the echo. In an ideal setup, we'd want to shoot in a soundproof room. But for many of us, this isn't an option. So a cheap way to do this is by grabbing some sound foam from Amazon and sticking them on the wall. And I personally rent this studio that I'm shooting in, so I just use blue tack to stick them on the wall. Another cheap option is by grabbing some thick moving blankets and using some light stands and pegs to make a makeshift wall around you to help deaden the sound. But now that we have our lighting and audio on point, the last piece of the puzzle to make your content look more professional is by having camera confidence. And I personally believe being confident on camera is one of the most important skills you can learn, because as the world becomes more and more digital, having the ability to present yourself on camera is a superpower many people don't even think about. So with that said, here are 3 of my top tips that have helped me become more confident on camera. So firstly, activate your inner presenter. And this idea stems from the belief that when you speak on camera, you come off as less charismatic. So basically, this means if you normally speak at a level 7 charisma, when that's shown on camera, it's believed that you'd be seen as someone with 5 charisma points. So to counteract this, when speaking to a camera, try to over-deliver your speaking points, even if it feels a bit unnatural. And obviously, there is a thin line when doing this, because I'm sure you've seen some of those videos where the person seems like they're literally screaming at you, which is obviously a bit overboard. But don't be shy to over-exaggerate some of your talking points when you're filming, because this will help you come off as more confident and more engaging. And a simple hack that will help you channel your inner presenter is by talking through a smile. Just by smiling when you talk, you'll be able to make anything you sound more energized or passionate. So for example, today I went to the gym and had a great workout and I'm now ready to start my day. Today I went to the gym and had a great workout and I'm now ready to start my day. But now moving on to tip number 2, and that's using expressions and body language. And this point is all about using different facial expressions and body movements when presenting in front of the camera. camera. And I'm sure you've seen people who are new to talking to a camera just stay super still like a statue. And this can come off as very stiff and awkward. Whereas you'll see across many of the top YouTubers' videos, they are masters when it comes to incorporating different expressions and body movements. And using different body movements can help you drive a specific point across more clearly. So for example, alright, so in this video, I'm going to cover my top 3 tips to taking better photos. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be covering my top 3 tips to taking better photos. But now, moving on to tip number 3, and that is self-awareness. And this is a concept I got from watching Vin Zhang's content. And Vin is a master of communication, and he teaches this simple 2-step process to recording and analyzing yourself to become a better communicator. And it goes like this. So step number 1 is to grab your phone and record a 5-minute video of yourself just talking. From here, you're going to leave it for a day, because if you watch the video straight away, you're going to be too judgmental of yourself. So after 24 hours, you're now going to review the video in 3 different ways. So firstly, turn the volume up, press play on the video, and then put the phone down so you can't see yourself and you're just going to listen. While you're listening, write down what you like and don't like about your voice and how you're talking. Now, the second time you review it, you're now going to mute the video and just watch yourself. Again, write down what you like and don't like about your facial expressions and body movements. And now lastly, you're going to transcribe the video using a software like Descript, and then you're going to go through and highlight all of the filler words you're using. So this is your ums and ahs. And applying this simple 2-step process has been an absolute game changer for me, and it's provided me with so much clarity on the different things I'm personally trying to correct. And I try to go through this process every couple of months to see my progress in that time. And just remember, camera confidence is just like any other skill. The only way to develop it is by practicing on a consistent basis. And a common mistake I see many beginner creators make is comparing themselves to people they see on YouTube who have been creating videos for years, when in reality they should be comparing themselves to those people's first couple of videos. And even though I'm not a master at camera confidence, when I look back on some of my first couple of videos I ever recorded, it always brings a smile to my face to see the progress I've made.
Once when me and my friend, we were out in Tokyo shooting. We were actually shooting from a bridge and we were trying to capture this train that was actually quite far away.
Like bruh, did you see how stiff and awkward I was? So yeah, don't believe that you weren't meant to be on camera, because any of the creators you look up to all had to develop this skill over time, and they are no different to you. With that said, that is only 3 ways to take your content from looking amateur to professional, and if you want to learn more tips like these alongside a group of other creators who are all supporting each other to achieve their content creation goals, then I'd like to invite you to check out my consistent creator community. Within this community, you're not only going to learn how to consistently create professional looking content, but you'll also receive monthly tools and resources to help you do just that. So things like monthly scripting templates, carousel templates, a library of AI prompts designed to streamline your content workflow, in-depth video courses teaching you everything from the best camera settings and gear to use, all the way to viral editing secrets to skyrocket your views, and so much more. On top of the monthly tools, you'll also get access to live Q&A calls with myself, where I can personally answer your unique questions, content feedback sessions to ensure you're publishing the best content possible, monthly challenges to put your skills to the test and to win some awesome prizes, and most importantly, a community of like-minded people who are all working towards the same goals. Honestly, there is too much included to mention here, so if you want to learn more about the consistent creator community, you can check out the top link in the description below. And with that said, thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.